Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, it's annoying. There we go. All right. Let's reload this one. Switch account. Howdy, Kara. Alrighty. Alrighty. Sorry. I'm just getting all the links posted. Merry Friday, everybody. Merry Friday. All right. Cool. 1 second, I'll get my coffee. Hey. Didn't see you there. I don't always pour my coffee in front of the camera, but when I do, it's with a Hario 02 coffee server. Also, my legs are covered, like absolutely covered in mosquito bites. I'm getting eaten alive out here. Eaten alive. I can feel 3 without moving my hands. That's pretty crazy. Anyways, how are you guys doing? How's your week? Did you guys have a good week? I had a pretty good week. It wasn't the best week, but it was a good week. Saw my stepmom for the first time in 3 years yesterday, in person, obviously. I talked to her a lot, but saw her for the first time in 3 years yesterday. She's down here visiting Austin, which is super cool. Got to hang out with my sister a little bit yesterday. That was cool. You know, coming to Austin's a little bit of like a family thing for me, so I get to do a lot of like the family stuff when I'm down here. Do any of you live near your families? Do you get to see your families often or not often? Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Amy. Allison said, my mom lives 4 blocks over. That's fun. Do you enjoy that? Or is there ever moments where you're like, maybe I wish it was 6? Good morning, Sandra. Ugh. We need some natural honey, some local honey. Good morning, Lauren. We love it. Man. Oh, man. Do you guys do that too? Does your voice get high after a sneeze? Does your do you do the initial like sneeze thing after because that's what I do every time. Good morning, Christy. Good morning. Ooh, what kind of dogs do you have? Yeah, Amy, I'm excited to hear more about your move once you start to like get on the road because that's really cool that you get to you're moving closer to fam. It's good to have a good like core unit. Huskies. Huskies, I've heard, are like a high effort dog, but are also like really worth it. You know, like they're like if you put in the work, it's like one of the best dogs you could ever have. You could ever partner with. It's my first night away from my kids since they were born. Whoa, where are you at, Christy? Are you on vacation? Lauren said, I used to know someone who would sneeze 3 times, high pitched. Every time they would go, achoo, achoo, achoo. That's a lot. That's a lot of sneezes. Maybe my third one's coming. Maybe we have a third one on the way. Victoria said, Good Friday morning. Good morning to you, Victoria. I don't know why I did that voice. Sorry for that. I find myself just doing that a lot. Good morrow, Squire. I don't know what a squire is. Is a squire a bad thing or a good thing? Good morning, Tanya. It's Friday, you know? I mean, and for what the worst news about Friday is we're not going to chat tomorrow morning. But, good morning, Casey. But the best part about Friday is that we've had all this time together this week. Chrissy said, My husband is a resident doctor, and they are in a retreat for their classes, and family was invited for a last night dinner and water park. Ooh. That is pretty great. And I know you guys are wondering, who's going to tell Kyle what a squire is? We all knew. Kara's got us covered. Squire is a knight's understudy. That's kind of a good. It's like a medium good thing to say about somebody, right? Like a medium good. It's like a 60% good. Maybe 70. Is where we had our wedding. Wow, you're just like chalking nostalgia on nostalgia. That's pretty exciting. It's not bad or good. It just is. It just is. A squire is a hero in training. Ooh, I like that, Tanya. The squire. Ugh. I'm like, if I lean forward, that just means I'm trying not to itch my legs because I'm covered in mosquito bites. But I'm trying to be good. Oh, yes, Kara, I saw the pictures of your hat. Also, I love that you called it the magic helmet. Um, you did some great photos. You really are. There's some really, really good photos. All right. All right, you guys twisted my arm. I'm going to see if I can do something for you. Well, we got a photo at the gazebo. We did our photos 5 years ago next month. Wow. That's so fun. All right. I'm going to make a noise, and you guys have to guess what it is. Dang, Carrie, you're good. You're really good. Whenever I say magic helmet, though, I cannot hear what's opera doc in my head in the Bugs Bunny ring cycle cartoon. Sample. It's the sample. We got it yesterday. And Nick and I we're going to drop a new video doing an update today. So you'll see more of it there, but you guys are officially the first ones to see it. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I actually think they turned out way better than I thought they were going to. I'm like a rabbit. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. I'm always like, I'm all over the place. Hopefully it's not too distracting. There's a window right there where I'm looking, and there's always people walking by, or there's birds, or there's like cars, and it's kind of a busy street. So I'm always fascinated by the interesting things. Tasty said, Whoop makes getting up worth it." Thanks. I'm glad that I rewarded your awakening in the morning. Your morning awakening. All right. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? How many email addresses do we have? RSVPs. We have 1,670 RSVPs. 1,670 RSVPs. It's pretty good. That's like 600 in a week. That's a lot, especially because we already had 1,000. So, if half of those people sign up on day one, they purchase something on day one, that'll be our biggest day ever by a long shot. So that's pretty cool. That's half a lot, but it's really cool. I love coffee. So, how much stock do you guys put into the generation stuff? Do you guys think about the generation stuff a lot? Like, oh, that I'm such like a Gen X, or I'm such a Gen Z, or I'm such a Gen Y, or maybe use the more common vernacular of like I'm a millennial, or like, yeah, what kind of credence do we put into those types of designations? I've always wondered this because I never knew if it's like if people believe in that in the same way that people believe like in whether or not they're true or not true. I'm not saying that, but like if people hold it to the same standard as like astrology and like astrological signs, or if one feels like it has more credence than the other. Generations do trend in large clumps, but individuals will vary widely. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Do you identify with the generation that you are? Like when you think of like all these, only to tease someone, I think we are individual. Yeah, I would agree too. None. I feel that age is just a number. It has nothing to do with who you are. My best friend in the world is 20 years older than me. That's great. I've always wondered because I don't know if, and I'm pretty young, so if anyone has a better answer to this, by all means. But I feel like the whole like millennial tag, and then now the Gen Z tag has been used a lot more commonly than I would think. It feels like it was used before, right? Like I in the 80s where people talking about their generational tags all the time, where people talking about like boomers or I don't really know a lot of them, so or the silent generation, were people talking about that as often, or is it does social media like compound the use of these kind of like monikers? Aw, Tazy. We break the mold of our generation. That means a lot. I think so. I definitely fit Gen X stereotype, but I don't take much stock into it. Yeah. I can't even remember which one. Ruth doesn't like labels. Good morning, Anna. Kara generally fits the generational standards. Mentioned generational tags have gone way up in the last year. Yeah, okay. That's okay. I'm glad that I'm noticing that as well, or at least we can see that together. Because I've always wondered. I was like, have people been talking about this much for this long? Because I feel like it'd be exhausting to talk about that for that long. Because there's really not that much to talk about. Like at least with like astrology, there is like Mercury's in retrograde, and you have like full moons, and you have like 12 different like titles. So there's a lot more to like talk about. But I feel like if everyone born from like 1987 to 1999 is a millennial, it's like that's kind of general. That's way more general than that. And maybe there's probably more people who are Geminis than there are millennials. Maybe. Ooh, that's an interesting thought. Victoria said, "I'm from the hippie generation, though not exactly stereotypical. I was always the odd one." Interesting. Tasty said, social media does not make it easier. I can agree with that. I think it's just another way to put people in a box. That's fair too. I mean, we're always trying to make sense of the world, right? Like, it's all about creating positive tags, right? Like we call you heroes, and in our head, it's like, okay, so someone who has, they don't necessarily have to use a hero's journal, but someone who has like bought into the ideology that they are the hero of their life and that they can make meaningful change without being mean to themselves, and can make meaningful change based off of somebody who can make meaningful change because they want to not be mean to themselves, but they just want to see the best version of themselves. Like I would call you a hero, and that would help me. I guess everyone's a hero technically, so it's even more vague. But yeah, I think sometimes, yeah, there are a lot of cultural and tech changes that play into how generations interact with the world, like remembering life before 9/11, or MTV played music videos, or life before computers fit in your pocket. Yeah, I'm barely on that threshold. I have friends who don't remember 9/11. It's a really weird moment actually, because I was in like first grade, so I was still really young. And I have a specific kinship with the memory because my dad actually went off to Iraq after 9/11 because he was in the military. So I have like a very like tie. Um, um, but anyways, that's a thing. Why a cassette and a pencil go together? That one I don't know. I think it's to rewind it, right? Or something like that. Maybe not. I don't know. Tanya asked, will there someday? Tanya's like, this is all fine and good, but I need to know, will there be a leather IMA? Maybe. I think it makes a lot of sense to make a leather IMA. We just don't have any plans for it right now because we are like our money is all in on GOI, like all of it. We had money and then we spent it all on GOI. So maybe if we get money again, we'll do it. But I think it would be really pretty. I think it would be really, really, really great. And there's a trend. I mean, you're definitely sensing a trend on that one. I know it's a little bit more expensive, and I know they are definitely a little bit they're a little bit more luxury feeling. I was talking to my stepmom yesterday, who is an avid Heroes Journal user, and she mentioned that the leather editions are the only ones that she'll use because she likes to travel with her journals a lot. Her parents live in Michigan, so she's going back and forth to Michigan a lot, and she said they handle the transit the best. So if that's any consideration, then yes, we should probably make one. And she also said IMA is her favorite story, so. Casey said, I was driving to work on 9/11 and I was annoyed at first because it was only news on every radio station. And then I listened and had a panic because I have friends living in NYC. Wow. That's like an out of body experience. You're like, what is this everyone's talking about? And then you realize what actually had just happened. You're like, oh my gosh. Yeah. James said, I want a leather IMA. The LOY leather is just so nice. It really is. It's so cool. Even like the sample of the black leather one we have is like it just feels good. It just feels really good. So I think y'all are onto something. You know what's been hard about being in Central Standard Time, and I didn't expect this, is I do a lot of stuff that's like well, I've been watching a lot of basketball because it's the NBA playoffs right now, and Mysterious Writings jumped in on YouTube and said, just wanted to pop in and say, love what you're doing. Thank you. That's so kind. But anyways, I've been watching like a lot of like basketball games, and basketball games don't start till like 8 p.m. here. So I've been going to bed at like 11 because I've been watching these games. And I realized like it's really easy for me to get up on the West Coast because all the stuff that I like doing gets over at like 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But then I realized, oh, I'm just giving myself an excuse. Because I was saying, oh, on Central Standard Time, I'll be 2 hours ahead. It would be way easier to get up 2 hours earlier. There's always a reason. There's always a reason why it'll be easier to get up. Never move to the East Coast. It's even later there. I know. I don't think I ever want to live on the East Coast. No offense to the East Coasters, but I don't know if I do. I think I'm a West Coast guy. I think I'm a West Coaster. Tacey had a really funny. Good morning, Nicole, by the way. He said, I love the leather. Okay. Honestly, I just love the journals. Period. Got it. Anna said, have you ever considered making a leather folio that our books can go into? Do you know something we could carry? You know something we can carry with us every day? We have thought about that. We've thought about that a lot. We have. I don't really have any more to say about that, but we have thought about that. Hey, I'm not saying you East Coast. I'm not saying people these East Coast aren't cool. I'm just saying I just don't know if that time zone really speaks to me. You know, it's more time zone thing. I'm really a time zone thing guy. You know, I like being the last one to the party. I like being the last one to hit 8 o'clock. Mysterious Writing said, lol, MW is on the East Coast. I don't know what MW is. Should I know what MW is? Oh, Mysterious Writings is on the East Coast. That's you. You're MW. Hey. I'm not saying bad people are on the East Coast. I'm just saying I personally am a West Coaster. Nicole said we would love to have you back on the West Coast. See, West Coast is making a mean case. But also James said mountain coasters. Now, mountain coaster sounds like a really fun ride. I just want to get an LOI version 1 from the first Kickstarter. I don't know how many we have left, honestly. We might have a couple. When we moved out of the warehouse, I had a lot fewer than I thought I did. But Who's to say? Cool. I didn't really have any. Oh, James has 2 first editions. James, you have 2 first editions? It's pretty wild. James, I'm gonna message you about something after this. I have a question for you. It's an honest question. Should I message you on Facebook or on Mattermost? I just have a question, and I just thought of it just now. And yeah. Anyways, um, I was born on the East Coast, but now I'm on the West. See, you got both. You got both vibes about you. I was technically born in Central Time, so I should be. Um, Tasty's like, what do we got here? We're opening up the black market, the Heroes Journal's black market. I love it actually. Cool. I don't. Hey, for those of you who don't know, um, if you just got a new LOI and you read the intro content, you were like, wow, this is incredible. These Heroes Journal guys are such good writers, and they make such good and such fantastic content. James is the author of a lot of that content, and he is extremely fun to work with, and he made the journal better by being such a good ally to us and working with us so kindly. So, anyways, if you're ever wondering how do they do it, how do they make that content so dang good, it's James. A lot of it's James. He has a way of taking kind of like the nuts and bolts that Nick and I kind of started with, and he made it really fun and like exciting to enjoy. So, yeah. So it's we're among good company. So, yeah. Great. Well, I didn't have very many inspiring musings today. I already said that, but thank you all for spending another week with me here in the mornings, chatting, trying to be heroic, being kind to one another. And I hope that this weekend is full of your hobbies or rest or meaningful work or whatever you spend your weekends on. I hope that you have the best version of that because you deserve it. You've powered through this week. You've made meaningful change in your life. Whether it doesn't feel like you have because you've approached everything like a hero. And that's the most important thing. That is the underlying perspective that will help us move past all of our obstacles, whether they're big or small, whether we know they're there or not. Remember that you're the hero of your story, and that we believe in you, and you can do this. So I will see you on Monday. Actually, I'll see you later today. I'll see you at 4 p.m. Central Time or 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Western Time or Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, or 3 p.m. Mountain Time. I will see you then. And we will. I don't know. I that was a long end cap. Bye, everyone.